Just before Christmas, DE ended up releasing update 22.8. Now in this update, as I mentioned in the previous video that I made, we now have the Grineer ghouls in the game, which you can encounter doing any of the 4 new bounties that pop up. And how I understand it, there's 2 at one time and they switch out with every reset period. Now inside the bounties, you'll encounter the Ghoul Augur, the Ghoul Devourer, the Ghoul Expired, and the Ghoul Rictus. Now within their drop tables is the new Grineer fan weapon stance, which is called Slicing Feathers. So if you kill them, you'll have a chance of getting that stance. Now as for the weapons and cosmetics we received in this update, we have the Grineer Tenno Pump Action Shotgun, which you can purchase from the market for plat or credits. The Gunsen, which is the war fans. Now they can be purchased for plat or researched in your Tenno lab at the clan dojo, and the Gunsen is the weapon with a stance. Now we also have the 2 Grineer weapons, which is the Quartak, which is the 4-barrel Grineer rifle, and then the Stubber, which is the Grineer submachine gun. Now the only way to acquire those 2 weapons, the Grineer weapons, is by purchasing them from the market for platinum or receiving their blueprints as a reward from the Ghoul Bounty rewards table. As for the cosmetics, we have the Magor Syandana and the Magor Armor Bundle. Now you can pick up the cosmetics and the Grineer weapons in a bundle by themselves, but the Tenno weapons will have to be purchased by themselves. Now besides the weapons and cosmetics, we now have the option to invite players into our orbiter. In order to do this, it's just like inviting someone to a squad. And on top of that, we now have personal quarters. Now in order to access these quarters, you will need to complete the War Within quest, which will require you to complete the Second Dream, Natar, and the previous quest before it. And once you have completed them, you'll receive a personal quarters segment blueprint from the Lotus upon logging in, and then you'll build it. Once you built it, you'll walk in, and you have your personal quarters. Now the little ball at the back of the quarters is a new quest and kind of spoilery, so I won't go into that, as I haven't even started it myself. Now as for the personal quarters, you'll have the option to change the middle piece section from either being a fish tank to a basic tile set preview, where you can use the new decorations to decorate this new space. As for the 2 sections on the right hand side, they're fish tanks, you can't change them, and they'll only be able to place small fish inside them. Now in the middle you'll have your loadout preview. You can change this to any of your set loadouts, and once you've done so you can change it at any time. Now as I mentioned beforehand, there's new decorations, so you can purchase them from the market once you've unlocked the personal quarters or by going into the decorations menu. Now they've also increased the decoration capacity, so they've expanded the capacity to each separate room within the orbiter, so now each room will have 1200 items that can be placed. Now going into spoiler territory again, operators will now have their own animation sets, with those animation sets being set active by simply going into your customized Tenno section and going down to the bottom. They've also made it so the operator stands up and you can see the full preview of the operator when you're customizing it. Now back out of spoilers, we now have some Captura improvements, with DE allowing players to deploy their Archwing in Captura mode, as well as adding a depth of field toggle in Captura on top of the depth of field slider. Now they also covered what I mentioned in the previous video, where Korra, the IPS damage changes and everything else will be coming in 2018. That way they can monitor the effects after they release it and change it to how they feel. Now for changes in this update, fragments in your codex are now categorized based on their origin. So Cephalon, Cetus, Gara, and the ghouls. You can now replay bounties for standing, so it's no longer capping you to 1 bounty per the 2-hour reset. You can now use emotes in your orbiter. Mirage's Hall of Mirrors casting animation has been changed to match the style of the Mirage Prime trailer. They have removed the reticle animation when sprinting due to player feedback. They've improved sound ambience and performance on the Grineer Settlement tile set doors. The body tendrils on Nezha's Yakshar Tenogen skin is now tintable, and they made some changes to Lieutenant Lech Krill's boss fight. So Lech Krill will now prioritize using his ice abilities instead of melee when he can. And upon destroying Lech Krill's backpack, his ice abilities will have their cooldowns reset to reduce time spent waiting around. They've also changed Lech Krill's Ice Wave ability so that it doesn't halt the fight when players are meleeing him. They've also added effects to his weak spot that changes tint based on how much damage has been dealt to his backpack, just to make it clearer to new players. And they've slightly tweaked his hitbox location for the backpack to try and achieve more consistent damage. Now when decorating your dojo, your selected decoration will now have to be deselected if you type it into the search bar, and the decoration in question does not appear on the results page. And finally, Ambulus is now immune to viral damage, which apparently made him unhackable. Now you know the drill. Fixes and everything else are up on the screen, so you can have a read here, or you can head over to the forum post and read them there. Have a good Christmas, and I'll see you guys next time.